When I heard these men didn't know who we were, my first inclination was, have y'all been living under a rock? Like, really?
Did you know who the ladies were gonna be?
No, I had no idea.
You're not a Housewives fan, Earl?
I know, I'm becoming one.
So are you Manhattan Housewives?
New York City Housewives.
They were aware of the Real Housewives, most of them, franchise. Did they know that we were on it? Absolutely not.
We are a cultural phenomenon. But it was nice that they didn't know us and we could like sort of start fresh, right? No, they didn't know about my past relationships. They didn't see me get humiliated on national TV. They didn't see Gizelle or Shannon or Luann, like none of that, right?
I loved that. Like, I loved the fact that they didn't know who we were and they were really just there to get to know us as people. I think once we started spending a lot of time with them, they kind of realized, oh, wow, these ladies are queens and professionals.
For a long time, it was my preference to date a reality TV personality because I felt like they would just understand my lifestyle. They would just know this whole thing and just be ready to jump in. As some time has gone on, I am more open to dating, as I call them, civilians.
They were all pretty simple. Men are pretty simple. Like, and we had a lot of 9-to-5ers. We had some entrepreneurs. Which, you know, I understand that and that lifestyle. The 9-to-5 guys were very fish out of water. They were just like, what am I doing here? And how did this happen to my life? It took actually all the guys like 24 to 48 hours to just shake off the fact that there's like 40 cameras rolling and all eyes are on them. And then after about 48 hours, they just let it go.
Do you feel like it's harder to be open and honest on Housewives or at the Love Hotel?
Oh, that's a good question.
Both I don't mind at all. Like Housewives, this is like, that's the name of the game. If you can't dig deep, then you can't be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Housewives, sometimes there's a bit of, dare I say, jealousy from some of the ladies. And that can make it a little difficult for you to open up. It was easier for me to be open and honest at the Love Hotel because the guys really wanted to learn as much as they possibly could about us because they really were romantically interested in us.
I really want to kiss you.
The guys, they wanted to know everything. And they were just like so eager to hear about us and learn about us. And it was refreshing. When I was asked to be on Love Hotel, AKA when Christmas came early to me, I was looking for a guy who was just gonna be like a nice little compliment to where I am in my life. Someone trustworthy, someone, you know, who can take care of business, you know, all the things.
Oh my God, look at this.
I kiss Ralph. I went into Love Hotel really thinking I knew exactly what I wanted, almost like I could like build a man, you know? But I was very pleasantly surprised that there were some qualities that I didn't even know that I was interested in. They were a very eclectic group, and I appreciated that because I learned a lot from the guys. Like, Ralph is a sound engineer and has toured with bands all around the world. Wale throws music festivals. These guys had so many different things going on, and all of them taught us a little something in their own way. James loves life.
I love my life. I love my life too.
And loves to sing. So we all got a little something from them.
Your Majesty.
Thank you. You know, if they're in awe of me too, like, you know, a little fandom doesn't hurt, you know, so.
What are some of your quirks?
Well, I'm very bubbly. And I have a ton of energy, and I like to talk about crazy stuff like space and aliens and dinosaurs and all that stuff. So my partner needs to be able to keep up. Right now, I look for guys who, if they don't have their own children, they at least have nieces and nephews. And I listen to how they talk about the nieces and nephews, right? Are they like the proud uncle? Even Wale, one of the things that we first connected on is Wale picks up his niece every Wednesday after school. And so he has that sort of bond and connection, so he understands what it's like. Even if he doesn't have kids of his own, he at least has an idea of the responsibility and the love.
How did you approach each other if you were interested in the same man?
You know, we were at the Love Hotel, so each of us had a bit of a responsibility, right, to get love. That's what we're there for. So it wasn't always pretty, the process.
You will be able to ask out not one, but two men.
First of all, Joel, concierge, nobody wants to go out on a threesome. Well, I mean, except Ashley.
Oh yeah, we called those the menage a trois dates. Oh, we did not like those. They were not fun for me at all because usually if I wanted to get to know somebody, like there was a time when I was interested in Nick and Wale in the beginning, and we had our menage a trois date, and I knew I had to bring somebody who like I wasn't as interested in, so that I could focus my attention on one person. I'm multi-talented and all, but a girl has her limits. So I really needed a buffer so that I could, like, you know, just have him there while I focused on, in our menage a trois date instance, Nick. So there's a bit of strategy involved.
Talk a little bit about Wale's struggles watching you connect with other guys throughout the season.
I don't know what's going on. Ashley is a PlayStation controller. She just plays games.
My poor Wale. You know, Wale very clearly went into this experience with his whole heart. And I did as well, but something that I constantly had to remind myself is this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me. And this is really my time to focus on myself and what I really want, and maximize this experience as much as I can. So, you know, as hard as it is for me to see Wale, I really had to be my first priority. I just don't think that's fair to myself this early on in the process to be tied down.
Were the rules of girl code different at the Love Hotel than they would be in real life?
Oh, no, absolutely not. The girl code applied at the Love Hotel just as they would in any other scenario, especially for me, considering that Gizelle is such one of my good friends. Like, that's my homegirl, A1 Day One. I went in there really wanting to respect our friendship, for sure. I wasn't really sure how the dynamic would be with Shannon and Luann. You know, I've only sort of seen them in passing, right? I've always been a Luann fan, but to actually spend that 3 weeks together in those walls without any outside influence, no one bothering us, no kids, no nothing, like just us, we definitely formed a very unique bond that was quite surprising. And I think we're like our own little sorority now.
Talk a little bit about your experience of having to ask out the guy.
You will get to ask out whichever gentleman you'd like to take out on a one-on-one date.
Joel telling me that I gotta go and ask these men out is just not my style. I get pursued. But I will do it. I will play the Love Hotel game.
That is not what I do. Okay, so I've never had to do that. I think even Shannon spoke about that. Like, I don't ask guys out. And guess what? I really didn't have to do it because Jay kind of beat me to the punch. He was kind of like, I'm just waiting for you to ask me out. And I was like, okay, we're going out. Like, he helped me with it.
What is your ideal man?
Ideal man. I like a nice gentleman that I'm, you know, attracted to. Y'all both check off that.
Okay.
Funny. Like, y'all need to be able to make me laugh. I have not laughed yet, so.
Oh.
My daughters are always like, look, you know, you have everything that you need. You have everything that you want. You really need someone that's gonna like compliment you and that you can just like have fun with. I want him to support me, love me, but only jump in when I need for him to jump in, right? Otherwise, I need for him to have his own big life and we meet in the middle. But if a guy can travel with me and has the means to like support himself on this, you know, traveling tour of the world, then yeah, that's perfect.
Where are you trying to go?
Everywhere. Okay, so we'll start out in like Turkey, and then we'll go to the Maldives and the little Seychelles, and then we'll hop on over to Australia and do some Africa, Tanzania. We'll get it all in.
But it's on his budget and your budget.
No, it's on actually his.
I live in this type of environment. I have a place in Paradise Valley and Bel Air. So.
I ain't mad at that. I want to see if Phil is just one note, or if he has different dimensions to him.
We really had to figure out a lot about these guys to kind of narrow it down and make a decision for us individually. And I love the fact that it was like, you know, Ashley's much younger, Luann's a little older. Like, we had a full dynamic of ladies. There were some guys that were a little bit on the younger side. They don't have any children. They want children. So, okay, that eliminates them. On my first night, I sat down and talked with Wale, and I thought he was fantastic. And I don't mind a younger man. They have a whole lot of energy.
You have an accent. Where are you from?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, Connecticut? No, Rhode Island State. That's embarrassing.
We let the guys know up front, like, hey, yeah, I like you, and we might have a little bit of a connection, but this is the Love Hotel, so I have to go meet him and him and him, and you have to deal with it. And they kind of had to take it on the chin. Like, they were in their feelings. Like, Wale, my poor Wale, he was in his feelings literally for weeks. Felt bad for the brother, but it's the Love Hotel.
That's right.